Hello, my name is Savannah Martin. I am the DRCMC Marketing and Communication Coordinator, and today I am delighted to have Mac Arthur Pierre-Louis with me. I'm so excited to talk with you today about instant mediation and being the volunteer category winner for the 2020 Peacebuilding Community Awards today. Quickly, before we dive into talking with you and learning about instant mediations, I'll give a summary of what the 2020 Peacebuilding Community Awards are. So the Dispute Resolution Center, Montgomery County Incorporated, and the Association for Conflict Resolution Houston Peer Mediation Team established the 2020 Peacebuilding Community Awards in Harris and Montgomery County in order to celebrate October being Conflict Resolution Month. That award was created to recognize individuals and organizations for establishing or just promoting local peace initiatives, promoting peaceful conflict resolution practices, or peace training for any group. So again, we are so excited to have you on today, and thank you for being here. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Hi.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the time, the opportunity to come here and speak about the work we've been doing. And I'm honored and humbled, by the award. I was thinking earlier, I haven't, received an award for something in a very, very long time. And so it's really appreciated to know that the work that we do actually is being observed by the public and by the community, and that we're going to be recognized for it. So I appreciate that.
Of course, of course. So let's go ahead and I will dive in and start with my first question for you. Simply just a basic, can you tell me about why you and your partner were inspired to create Instant Mediations?
Yes. So my business partner, Natalia Laskachaka, she's an attorney out in Warsaw in Poland. But last year we were doing mediation training in Florida, and she being in Europe and me in Texas, and we're doing a mediation in Florida, we realized, hey, if attorneys like us can work across the ocean to connect daily and work on our clients' cases, why can't mediators and why can't people use technology to connect with clients and parties anywhere instantly? And so Natalia came up with the name instantly, like instant coffee. Not to say that mediations are instant or quick to be done, but that the process should be really easy to start, okay? And so personally, we both know how hard it was, and back in the day, to have to schedule mediation, you have to get people's calendars to align, you have to work through all sorts of headaches. But if we could just make the process quicker and easier and be able to make it work instantly, wouldn't that be a good thing? So anyway, that's what inspired us to start up with the idea. Note that was back in May 2019. And then this year, February 2020, the whole world blew up with coronavirus, and COVID-19 caused lockdown. So now we had to think, okay, how do we take this idea that we had that was more theoretical at one point and make it practical and start helping lots of people to be able to meet with mediators around the world instantly, so they can save time, save money, save energy, and meet with mediators wherever they are.
Gotcha. That is pretty cool. So the pandemic, that really changed the goals and the speed, I'm assuming, at which you were trying to create that. Is that right? Do you want to speak to that?
Absolutely, absolutely. At first, we were trying to be more of a software company where we're going to produce some kind of archetype, tool for mediators to use to meet clients. But then when the pandemic happened, it really changed our focus to now start growing a pool, so to speak, so that parties will have an easier time finding mediators in their area, around the world, in another country, because people couldn't move, they couldn't relocate. People were stuck in their homes, but we all had this thing called Zoom or Microsoft Teams or WebEx, and Instant Mediations then jumped in the bandwagon of trying to help people connect. And that's now what this site's all about.
Okay, awesome. So can you tell me about your experience helping the DRC learn how to adapt to Zoom and doing virtual mediations?
Yeah, so right in the early days of the lockdowns when people couldn't go out to mediate, at the DRC, I was invited to come in and help train the mediators, the volunteer mediators who work with the Dispute Resolution Center. And it was a great opportunity, a great experience. I went in and met a whole lot of people who were like, hey, I haven't done mediation online before. I just know I have a bunch of clients who are waiting to meet me, and their attorneys, they're all stuck at home, but they still got a legal problem they got to resolve. So got the opportunity to go in, met your staff, met your team, worked with lots of different mediators, some online, some in person. And we were all social distancing in those early days. And we basically went through all the steps, all the processes that you might need to go through in order to start a mediation, get located, get found, launch Zoom, go through the process, do the breakout rooms, do all those steps, and took all the mediators from having very little knowledge and doing a virtual e-mediation to being able to complete a full one, all the way to having the parties sign electronically the mediation agreement. So taking people through the whole entire process of how we can take a mediation in person and turn it virtual, that was a pretty cool experience, and I loved helping. And by the way, I should note, when I was working with my own clients back in the day, I would go to the DRC in Harris County, Montgomery County, and we would in person do mediations, right? So it was kind of cool to give back and go back to the same institution. And this time, instead of trying to teach people how to do mediation in person, do the same exact processes, but virtual. So that's a little bit about the experience of how that was to train.
Yeah, I love that. So a really cool thing that I understand is that you also created videos and a guide that sold on Amazon, just to help the public learn more about mediations. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, so we started a bunch of YouTube videos that we put up on our channel, and those were meant to help people basically start learning how to mediate online. I personally did a lot of the recordings. We did lots of different volunteer trainings with different groups, different talks that we're invited to do, because this was so new to lots of people. And then we spent the early weeks of the pandemic just, hunched down in the wee hours of the night, writing up a book on how to mediate online. So we called it How to Mediate Online. And we put it on Amazon, but now it's actually free. And so we're releasing it to the public, and so people are able to go to our website and download it and learn as much as they need. I think in those days, the book's focus was more on the mechanics of how to do this whole Zoom virtual mediation, because it was so new to lots of people. But now, and we are going to come up with a second book, and now we're going to be moving more toward the theory and practice and scholarship that's necessary to transform you into a really good and effective online mediator. Because as we've discovered over the last number of months, mediating online is not just about pushing buttons. Mediating online is about knowing how to communicate effectively in a virtual space, because people are not used to this. This is a little abnormal. The body language, you lose the not knowing who's in the room, the ethical, things that come up. All those things need to be discussed. And so this is what we're working on now to continue with an additional book. And so people can always go to our YouTube channel. It's basically called now Lawyers and Mediators. It's on YouTube, and they'll be able to go there and check out a lot of the free stuff that we've put together.
That's wonderful. And it's amazing that you were able to create all of that and that you offer that to the public to learn about how to do this, especially since during this time it's been such a need in not even just our community, but throughout everywhere. It's been a need. People still
Absolutely.
need help solving their problems. And talking about our community, you helped a lot of communities move to virtual mediation. And you obviously helped the public become more educated on what mediation. Can you talk about why that was so important for you and why you felt so passionate about that?
So before I went to law school, before I became a mediator, I was a teacher. I was an educator. I taught second grade for a few years at a school called Garcia Elementary in North Houston. Shout out to Garcia Elementary. But those years and then getting a master's education really taught me that there's value in education and educating the public. In fact, over the years, even in our law office, we had always been putting out free content, educational videos, informational blogs, vlogs and blogs, just for people to learn more. Because the internet now, you can learn anything on YouTube and on social media accounts and all that. So this was just a natural evolution to it. So we, just being teachers at heart, just take advantage of it. And so this is why we've been so moved to put different things out there for the public. Obviously, the core audience are other mediators, usually mediators who may not have experience in mediating in a virtual setting, and trying to help them get on board. Okay, so we created Instant Mediations LLC. Basically, it's a for-profit company. However, it will be pointless to, in its work if it can't get people on board to follow it. And so we learned very quickly that the way you get following is to give things away and to give knowledge away, because we're living in a new knowledge economy now. And so if people have the tools that they can acquire from you, well, then they're going to come and stick around. And that's what we did. So whether it's the YouTube channel or even the documents that we've put up through dochub.com, we have our own DocHub portal. It's free to the public. People can go on there right now to dochub.com/instant mediations, and they'll be able to get free documents that we've started putting together to just help mediators who may need different forms, different ideas. If people want to upgrade and they want to get more involved, more access, and that's fine too. But it's all there and available for free. People just need to go out there and look for it.
Wow, that's awesome. So what kind of impact do you feel that Instant Mediations and all of your trainings and all of your offerings have made?
Sure. Good question. At the very end of the book, How to Mediate Online, we had a section called, a section discussing how we need to bring legitimacy to online mediations. Because one of the feelings that we had was that people thought that the pandemic was going to go away pretty fast. And they thought that, once this whole coronavirus ends, we're just all going to go back to normal and just do our regular in-person mediations. We still hope for that. And I definitely will always want in-person mediation over online if possible. But when people realize that online mediation is kind of here to stay, even when coronavirus goes away, people are not getting used to it. We felt that people needed to understand that online mediation is a legitimate practice, right? It's a legit way of meeting people online. It's not just something that's fly by night. It's not something that is dinky or is not to be taken seriously. So the impact that we want to have in this field is to help people understand this is for real. This is not going away, and that more attorneys, mediators, and judges need to take it very seriously. It helps so many people. It helps you save gas. It helps you save time. It helps you be able to share documents in a way you couldn't. If you have language issues, now when you're online, you can bring people, with remote language skills to help translate. It helps, people who are stuck in another country and they can't come to mediate in person. It helps them. It helps people who are in prison. It helps people who are infirmed or in a hospital. They can't leave. Well, Zoom has done the world a pretty big favor, by just being there once the pandemic hit, and other programs as well. Google, Microsoft, all the big tech companies have done the same. But when you now have the ability to just meet virtually like this, and you can put mediation as a practice and arbitration and any kind of ODR or dispute resolution on top of it, now it brings people the ability to do something more efficiently, more cost effective in a way they could never do it before. So I think that's what we're contributing. That's the impact we're trying to have, which is bring legitimacy, show people this is a serious venture and that it's not going away, and that people need to start getting the skills, which is why we started the Academy. And academy.instantmediation.com as a way to teach people to be able to know how to mediate online effectively and know those communication skills. So I think seriousness and legitimacy is our biggest goal right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's a awesome goal to have for right now. And for my last question of the interview, can I just ask, what does receiving this award mean to you?
Yes, thank you so much. I think anytime a group recognizes an individual for their work in a community, it's something that should humble you, okay? It does. I appreciate it. When my business partner and I were standing in front of the Apple Tower back in February, we basically had this quote that I think it was the era of online mediation, or the age of online mediations, is upon us. That was in February. We had no idea that it was like it was gonna be serious just a month later, when none of us had a choice. Okay, so we're happy that the work that we've been doing is being recognized, and so I appreciate it. I think that obviously it gives great exposure to Instant Mediations, which is awesome. And if we're given the opportunity to continue the work, then we're definitely going to take it. All right. So as I informed someone recently in the head of the DRC, if you guys need us and you guys need us to come out and retrain more people, absolutely, we're ready to do it. We want to contribute that way. So this is just giving us, a little bit of a megaphone, and giving us an audience that's a little bit more expansive, and we really appreciate that. And so we're going to continue doing the work. And if we can be peace builders, and I know that DRC does great work in helping people who really need mediators to help them resolve their problems. If we can contribute to that and help you guys grow as well, then we're all about it. So you have my number, just give me a call, and we'll definitely be hoping and ready to meet and continue growing online mediations, even for and attend them with you guys.
We love to hear that, and we so appreciated everything that you've done and everything that you've just done for creating peace and building those relationships and allowing others to be builders of peace as well. So I just greatly appreciate you being on here today. So thank you again for joining us today. And just to wrap up really quickly, the Dispute Resolution Center, Montgomery County Incorporated, and the Association for Conflict Resolution Houston Peer Mediation team wish you just all the congratulations again on being named the winner of the 2020 Peacebuilding Community Awards in the volunteer category. We will be having another interview coming on your way soon. It will be on our Facebook. You'll just have to check back and see who we're interviewing that day. Thank you all, and thank you again. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Okay.
Take care.